Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Indian School of Physics. This is Nitin here, and again today I have come up with a very special problem. As you can see, the name of this problem is the physics of sand clock. It's a very standard problem of school physics, and it was part of 2018 INPHO paper also. But let me tell you, this is a very regular problem, and I have been using this problem for last 8-9 years in regular classes, and luckily it appeared in INPHO, so it was a very great satisfaction, you can say. So today we are going to decode this problem. So let's go and discuss the statement of this problem, and then we will further proceed for the solution of this question. So as you can see here, a sand clock is placed on a weighing machine. Initially, all the sand having mass of m0 is present in the upper half of the vessel as shown in the figure at equal to 0. The mass of the sand clock apart from the sand is capital M0. So mass of this vessel is given. At t equal to 0, the sand is released with 0 speed. Mind you, this 0 speed is very important. Otherwise, some force would have come at this point, as this sand will exit this opening. But they are saying it is coming out with 0 speed. Okay. And after that it falls by a height h and reaches the bed of the lower part of the clock as shown. It is given that the sand comes to rest just after hitting the bed on the lower part and does not form a heap. Plot the graph of weighing machine reading versus time for all t greater than 0. So once our experiment starts, let's say at t equal to 0, then we have to comment how this reading of weighing machine is going to change over time. So that part we have to investigate. Now it's a very interesting problem, and in order to solve this problem, we are going to divide this into different parts, because the behavior of this system is completely different. So here, as the sand particles will start coming down, some of the sand particles will be in the mid-air, and when they are in mid-air, its behavior is different. We can feel it, that reading of this is going to decrease. The weight is going to decrease because some part of the sand is in the mid-air. So logically reading should decrease. Then we have to see what exactly is going to happen when this first sand particle is going to hit this bed. What is going to happen in that situation, we are going to investigate. So let's start. Concept wise, I'll say we will be using this the famous equation, force is equal to dp by dt. That means due to change in momentum, how much extra force will be coming in certain parts of this problem, that we have to consider, and we are going to discuss about that. So here is a case 1. I have divided this case 1 in when sand has started falling down from the opening, but sand particle haven't reached the lower floor yet. So just now I explained about this, that sand particles are falling and they are in the middle only. They are not touching the ground yet, or the lower part of this bed yet. Okay, so they are in the middle only, and first sand particle will reach the bed after a time of root of 2h by g. That's very easy, very basic, and it will be hitting the floor with a speed of root 2gh. That these are like direct results we can use. So now for all intermediate times between 0 and t1, t1 is that instant when first sand particle is reaching the ground and hitting this floor. Okay, so in this time we can say, in time t, whatever mass has come out of it, that much reading will be decreasing. So that mass will be, can you say, since the rate of ejecting is given as a constant k, so kt is the mass which has come out into g. So this will be the reduction in this reading, or from the actual weight. So actual weight is capital M plus mg minus ktg. So this is how reading of this is going to change with time. At t equal to t1, we are just going to substitute here this t1 value. So this is the reading at t equal to t1. And this is the function. We can say it is linearly decreasing. In the end, we have to plot the graph. So we will remember this expression. Okay, now let's see what happens exactly when sand particle starts hitting. Okay, and still Still, because it's a sand clock, normally this rate of falling will be very small. So still some sand is present here. There could be a case that this time of falling is larger than the time of emptying this part, or you can say m naught by k. If this time under root of 2h by g, if it is more than this value, then in that case a completely different situation will arise, and nothing was mentioned in this problem about this, because normally for a sand clock, time of emptying this vessel, this upper part of the vessel, that will be quite higher compared to the time in which the sand particles will be falling. So I am ignoring that possibility. However, theoretically there can be a case which can arise because of it. Okay, so now case 2 is when upper part of the clock has become partially empty, but the sand is present in the mid-air and moving down, and some sand has already hit the bed. So some sand has already hit the bed and some sand is present here also. Of course, it is less than m naught, but already it is present here. Now here, so in this time interval, there are going to be two things. One is some sand is present here and here, that part, its weight. Okay, plus due to this falling part, whatever change in momentum will come, because if you see, the sand particle is having velocity of v and its mass is, let's say, dm, so, and it is coming to rest after that. So change in momentum of this particle is dm into v. Now this rate of change of momentum will be definitely exerting a force on this. That force is dp by dt. So now in this situation, I can say reading will become r1 plus f, where r1 is this value when first particle was hitting the floor. That reading plus force due to change in momentum we can write. Let's evaluate that force. So reading r1 value I am substituting here. Now force due to momentum transfer on lower surface due to sand, we have just seen here, it is dm by dt times v. So v is root 2gh and dm by dt is k. So if I substitute this value here, I realize that k t1g gets cancelled with this value, and in the end we are going to get m plus mg. That means reading of this weighing machine becomes the actual weight of it during the situation when it has left this part, but still some sand is there in the upper part and this sand is hitting. So suddenly, due to this hitting part, reading reaches to the original value, actual value of the weight. So this is the situation in time interval of t1 to t2. However, one more thing is going to happen. Case 3 I am writing. When upper part is completely empty now, and these last few sand particles are traveling down, they are falling. Already some part is present here. Okay? So due to this part, now we have to see how much change in momentum will come due to this part. So here third case I am writing, when upper part of the clock has become empty, but still some sand is present in the mid-air and it is moving down. So t3 I am defining a moment t3. It is the time instant when all the sand has reached the bed of the lower part. So I can simply say this t3 is t2 plus time of falling from here to here. So I can write this t3 as t2 plus root of 2h by g. So in this time interval of t2 to t3, see how the reading will be. This reading is going to be the previous reading when this just greater than t2 instant, that reading, which was the actual weight, which was including the effect of changing momentum also, plus weight of incoming sand for t greater than t2, because the reading r2 has already included the effect of change in momentum. So all I need to write is in that weight of incoming sand for t greater than t2, which I can simply write as k t minus t2 times g, where t is lying between t2 and t3. So this will be my reading for this time interval, and you can see here this is slightly larger than this and it is increasing linearly. All right, Now for t greater than t3, all the sand particle has reached to the bed of the lower part of this sand clock, and since all the sand is present in this lower part, I can simply say reading is reaching to the actual value of the weight. So now I'm going to plot this reading versus time graph. So if you remember 0 to t1, the value was decreasing linearly, and then suddenly t greater than t1, it was reaching to the exact value of actual weight, right? And then at t greater than t2, value was increasing linearly, and for t greater than t3, value was reaching the original weight, or you can say the actual weight for t greater than t3. So this is the reading versus time graph, and this is the solution for this particular problem. It's a very beautiful problem and very important one also, and such type of questions can be easily asked in exam like JEE Advanced, JEE Mains also. For JEE Mains, I'll say a part of this question can be asked, or a modified version of this can be asked, but such type of question can be definitely in JEE Advanced also. May not be exactly the same, but a modified version of it. So I hope you have understood this question properly, and if you have enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up and share this with your friends and teachers, and if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe it. I'll be bringing more such amazing videos. Thank you very much.